Sasha from Escape Out of the Box, and this week I'm bringing you a series on do-it-yourself designer health, and we're going to look at a few different facets of health, from spiritual health, mental, emotional and physical health. And next week with the radio show I'll have Anna from My Body Love, who has a similar law of attraction type tack on things, but is also a health and fitness and wellness coach. So she's into diet, nutrition and exercise and all that as well. But for me, you'll get, if you look in my blog, you'll get some really, what I think, are very special kind of insights, because the way I live my life, my health comes out of firstly out of my spiritual well-being, which comes from that alignment that we like to talk about so much. And I do, because the feeling of being aligned is just addictive. And when you are tapped into that place, when you're in that position of wellness and in that state, all health flows from there, as far as I'm concerned. And I've lived that way in my life, and I continue to live that way. I deal with any conditions that I've had mentally, emotionally, physically. I deal with them all from this position. And I would really, really love it. I don't know how many of you read my blog, but I would really love it if you read this one, because I think you'll find a lot of very interesting stories. And they're from my life, and they're quite outstanding. Some would be considered miraculous. And there's stories of how I've tapped into this alignment and how I've used it to bring about healing and wholeness in my life in every area, and how I continue to sustain health as well. So that's it for today, and I'll be back again tomorrow, and we'll talk about mental health. Okay, so have a good day. I'm bringing you the second installment of Do-It-Yourself Designer Health. I wanted to talk to you this morning about mental health. And speaking from experience, if you read the blog, you'll know what I went through in this area, or in one part of it anyway. And it's the fact that I had some kind of breakdown at a point where you know, your thinking processes just don't work so well, and making decisions is really hard, and it produces chemical imbalances that, you know, result in conditions in your body, which is why I started making these connections so clearly. But anyway, the most distressing part for me was alopecia. I actually started losing my hair, and my hair is typically very long, and so to lose some in patches that were quite large and small and over a period of years was very distressing, to say the least. One other attribute of that time was I would go through periods of losing control of my eyes, which I think is characteristic of hypertension, and they would function independently. And both these things can become a real source of fear, which then becomes self-perpetuating in your thinking. And so to be able to find a platform to stand on and get some clarity and start to make your way back from a dark place like that requires, you know, a little bit of effort, but it's not beyond you. And in fact, please read the blog, okay? And next week I have Anna on Blog Talk Radio with me. We'll be discussing this type of thing as well. So tomorrow we'll look at how being aligned will help you with emotional well-being, all right? You can get your mental well-being back too, regardless of where you're at. Trust me, I've done it. Thanks, see ya. I did my belly walk, but I went for breakfast after and forgot to do my video, so here I am. And today I wanted to talk to you about do-it-yourself designer health, but with specific a view to emotional health. Now, if you read the blog, you will find that I am very interested in maintaining stable health emotionally, and that I was also, as a mother of 5, drawn upon to find ways to help my children do that too, especially my youngest, Matthew. He was only like 4 years old, I think, when he started getting migraines that put him through that process of, you know, like he would vomit and then sleep it off for 3 hours and wake up just fine. But we weren't sure what was triggering them, and then as he got older, I could see how emotionally strung out he was getting over different things, and this was one of the triggers for the migraines as well. And so one day I told him, he came home all worked up from school, would have been maybe 5 or 6 years old, and I said to him, look, you can tell me all about it in 5 minutes, but for 5 minutes come out on my balcony. I had a balcony off our second floor bedroom, so come out on the balcony and listen to the wind and the trees. And we had several different layers and types of trees, and so as the wind hit each one, you could distinctly hear the different song that it played, and you could tell when it hit the gum trees, when it hit the palm trees, when it hit the smaller shrub trees. And he was lost in it very quickly. And what happened is that just for those few, as soon as you detach from all the emotional charge of everything that's got you worked up, then you have actually succeeded in pulling out of the position that you were in and finding alignment with a better one. And his emotional balance came back straight away. EFT is a great way for balancing your emotions. In fact, that's it, emotional freedom technique. It couldn't be better. And so they're two of the techniques that I have been known to use and use successfully on myself and other people. So have a go. Next time you're not feeling so good, learn a little bit about EFT and try that, or just go out into nature a little bit and actually focus on listening to something or seeing something, because that will work too and bring you into alignment. Okay, until tomorrow when we look at some physical health. And here I got distracted again with my morning walk this morning and didn't do my video. So here I am in the middle of a gig. I'm on a break, soon to go back, but I wanted to tell you about Do-It-Yourself Designer Health Part 4, which is the physical side of health. Now, over the years, when I was really little, I just want to point out that I used to have an MO, like a method of operation, where I would get like a bronchial asthma. This is when I was like 6 or 7, and that was my way of getting some personal attention from my mum. Now, I didn't get sick often, but when I did, that was it, and it would be so that I could stay home by myself and have some time with my mum. And I found out that as I was an adult, I would fall into this habit to get a day off or to get some assistance or to do something like that. And I got to the point where I realised that why this was a gain for me, and I started realising that I could get the assistance or the time off without having to get sick. And so what happened was, when I did start to get sick, it was usually associated with being overwhelmed or overworked. And when I sorted it out that way, it didn't happen anymore. So it was resolved that quickly. That's it. It didn't happen anymore. I would just say to myself, I can just have a day off, I don't need to be sick. I can ask for help, I don't need to be sick. And that was it. It didn't occur anymore, which showed you that initially it was all about just getting some assistance, some time, and not feeling overwhelmed. So that's just another thing to think about. But read the blog, because I have a different story in there, and I'll see you next time.